did put out a booklet indicating that progress, what they've done, of achievements. So I rather suspect that a lot of what is in that, I don't want to preempt anything, but I rather suspect a lot of what is in there probably would be in there, that what they've done and what they are hoping to do. It will be quite interesting. Se ilo kay mene manifesto yo sorti do et puis flambeau poko di kita yo kay mene sorti ek manifesto yo no ka SP gade bi koute ki le parties of flambeau kay di yo kay mene manifesto do ko sable ba kay beti sa yo do semaine prochaine si divli.
Yes, very nice. So we're looking forward to Tuesday, and of course I'm looking forward to seeing when will UWP launch their manifesto. However, they have put out some very critical youth messaging. I did see that when I went on my investigative research. The UWP did highlight quite a few promises towards the young people, specifically the young people of St. Lucia, in their youth messaging. Quite a few of them. And of course, as a youth leader, I was very interested to see that. You know, the youth vote is a very important vote, and it will be a very important vote in the 2025 election.
That the voting, the young people vote might very well be the deciding factor. As if I may just stick a pin in there, Rejan, when you look at elections and we look at past trend, there isn't much of a difference in terms of those persons who are seasoned voters, those that are for Labour and those that are for the Flambeau. You don't have a much difference in the two. Normally, it would be those first-timers, or those undeciders, that they would be the ones who would actually determine the outcome of the general elections.
Now, I'll tell you something very interesting. You say that, and just to even further your point, that in Grosile, we saw about 2,000 new voters, right, coming on the electoral list. And
that's for this
last election. But interestingly, the candidate who won for Grosile, Kenson Kazimi, won by about 2,000 votes.
2,090 something votes. So we could well imagine that he got the bulk of the new registered young voters and the first timers.
That is something very important for us to see, the power of the youth vote. But also political news. We had Philip J. Pierre was actually on the ground in Babono. Remember we were talking about Babono last night?
Yes.
Babono being the community that, as far as history has told us where the nation will vote. Whichever color Babono turns, the nation votes that same color. So it was very interesting to see after we spoke about it. Maybe they're listening, Henix. What do you think? Maybe the politicians are listening to the show. I tell you this. The politicians, if they are not the ones listening, they've got the operatives that are listening to every talk show, every show. And this one being the first in St. Lucia for this political season. They would have a keen interest as to what is being said. And I guarantee you, there'll be more listening and watching tonight. Because from what the people were saying in terms of voting and who they think is going to win and the margin of victory, I think it's quite interesting. And they would be out there right now looking at what is being said, looking at the trend and listening to the people very, very, very carefully. And thereby now going back to the drawing board, so to speak, and say, okay, so based on what we are hearing, we know it's early, and we had about 20 calls, and majority of them were saying X, Y, and Z. So look, what is happening? So let us go there and see what is happening, and talk more to the people, and be on ground, and see how much political capital, because this is a new phrase, and I love it, a political capital. Whether those persons that are there, how much political capital can they bring across, or how much political capital is there. I love to see that, because I love to see the politics in action, the strategy in action. It is also very interesting. And I think to combat that's happening in Babono on the SLP side, UWP is also having a big national public meeting in Soufrière. We're seeing a joint meeting between Soufrière, Sourcelles, Labouré, and Beaufort South, which is meant to happen. Massive. Very, very massive. So we're seeing a lot of different strategies coming out for this election season. We're seeing a lot of new news, a lot of different operations going on. It's very exciting, guys. It's very exciting to pay attention to the politics and pay attention to what's going on in this election season. But that is it for my today's news and updates with regards to
there's one that you're missing.
I'm missing. What am I missing?
There was a candidate who Centros, Ancillary Congress. He said that he wanted to go for a run for the United Workers' Party. Of course, he was not chosen. Dominic Fete was chosen. And then he declared that he was going independent.
Oh.
But today, listening to News Spain today, he has now declared that he is no longer an independent candidate, but he's throwing his weight behind the incumbent, the outgoing member for parliament for Ancillary Congress, Wayne Jira.
Wow. 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 Look at that. Look. And it seems we have a lot of crossing the floor happening lately in St. Lucian politics. And I think that we would have discussed that this evening, Henix, about crossing the floor. Another very interesting cross the floor.
No. Crossing the floor. In St. Lucian politics, up to this day, we have only one cross the floor.
Officially, yes. Official.
So persons have changed allegiance.
Changing allegiance. Okay, well, let's correct that.
Let's be politically correct, because
that's true.
Mon ka, you know, c'est celle bonne qui jamais fait ça, c'est Shedelmol, Neville Snack qui c'était membre parlement pour la Boyada, et puis aussi il c'était gouverneur général, ça c'est Neville Snack. Plus me connaître que Shedelmol.
Well, very true, and I think it is true. We should be really correct when we say that we've seen a lot of shifting allegiances over this election cycle. I believe the biggest shift we saw was the previous candidate for Dennery South, is it? As Edmund Estefan, who ran on the UWP in the last election, and I think 2 elections prior, from 06, 011, and 2016, shifting allegiances to the Labour Party in support of his brother.
So he says. But everybody knows that. Well, most people would know that Estefan, that is Edmund Estefan, he had an interest in still running seat for the United Workers' Party.
So we've been told.
He wasn't chosen, so therefore he decided to switch allegiance and purport that he's supporting his brother. This is what the grapevine is saying. Ça c'est Edmund Estefan qui c'était membre parlement, il représentait Dennery Mwende pour Dennery Sud pour des thèmes, et puis actuellement John Paul Estefan c'est frère qui est candidat pour partisan Labour pour Gozile, et puis Edmund Estefan dit que ça il a supporté frère, mais un peu le monde a dit c'est pas frère qui a supporté, il était le candidat toujours pour bail partisan Flambeau et puis plus Flambeau du Nord. Il dit mais 6 ans qu'a supporté 6 ans Fédé qu'a monté toujours, Gaï qu'a monté toujours, Hérode qu'a monté toujours, pour qu'ils soient pas qu'à faire monter, puis il dit non, il dit ça, dit non, et bien ça qui fait. And also his brother was the former Speaker of the House, Andy Daniel. And the Prime Minister says that over the weekend there are some giants.
Some more giants
that would be leaving the United Workers' Party and coming across to the St. Lucia Labour Party. There's a lot of speculations as to whether it is.
I think I've heard some of the speculations as
well. You know, I have looked into my crystal ball. It has revealed who they are to me. But however, the crystal ball says, Henix, do not say anything just yet. Wait until I say to reveal, then you go to. Very
interesting landscape. So we're seeing a trio of brothers, members of the United Workers' Party, or previous members of the United Workers' Party, leaving the party and switching allegiance, and also the political leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Philip JP, alluding to the fact that there may be more members to come. Of course, there's speculation on the ground, but we don't know yet. We're holding on for that. Let's see if it's just a bluff, or let's see if
flashing mirrors.
Could be flashing mirrors.
But
it's politics.
You know, my history has indicated to me that the very first person to have changed allegiance of political parties would have been the late Sir John, when he started with I think it was PPP or PLP. It was no SLP. No, at the time it was not SLP, and he left, and he and the Bousquet brothers, here formed in 64 to form what is now the St. Lucia
The
the United Workers'
Workers'
Party in 1964 with the likes of Henry Giraudy.
Very, very true. And yes, elections, politics, we see a shift in allegiance, we see the formations of new parties, for example. Also, how could we forget in the last election where we saw the shift of allegiance of Stephenson King into an independent candidate, and I think he's now what he goes by is the Patriot.
The Patriot, represented by the umbrella.
Yes, represented by the umbrella and his party color being blue. That was a big bombshell back in the 2020 election season.
And I also noticed that Shalry, who was a candidate for the St. Lucia Labour Party in the previous election, he's now switched allegiance and is now supporting Stanley Fix.
Interesting. The elections is getting hotter and hotter. The allegiances are switching. They're seeing unofficial crossing the floors happening in this election season. So, guys, it's a very exciting process. It is something that we all want to pay attention to. But then I think we've gone way past our beginning few minutes in the hot topics for the election season right now. Right now we want to go a little bit deeper into the constituencies.
Yes, and I was looking at, again, the crystal ball. I normally visit the crystal ball very often. Very, very often. And when you first had elections held in 1951.
That's way back.
That's
Were you
way
alive
back.
at that time?
I'm not sure where I was at the time.
I know I wasn't there, for sure.
And then, back then, you only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 political parties from 1951 up until 1974.
8 political parties.
Yes. No, so 1951, you had 8. In 1954, you had 8. In 1957, you had 8. And in 1964, you had 10. So in 1951, you had Central Castries, North Castries, South Castries, Ancillary Castries, Soufrière, Soisey, Laborie, Vieux-Fort, Micoud, and Dennery. So you had those in 51, 54, 57. And in 1964, you had 10. That included, then you had Dennery.
Constituencies.
Oh, you
were
yes.
saying political parties.
Sorry, no, constituencies. Constituencies, my apologies. You had 10. So now you had Dennery, East Castries, South Castries, Ancillary Canaries, Soufrière, Soisey, Laborie Vieux-Fort, Micoud Poilé, Northwest Castries and Grosley, and also Grosley. So you had Northwest Castries, Grosley, which I think is it was Barbados. Northwest Castries was Barbados, Grosley, and then you had Grosley. So from 1964, you had 10, and 1969, you also had 10, and then now in 1974, you moved to the present day 17 constituencies that we have.
And
today.
I think there's even discussions about further dividing the constituencies. I think there has been talk of splitting the constituency of Grosley. I heard one comment of it splitting into 2, another comment of it splitting into 3, and I think Castries South East
is as well.
Constituency that's on the chopping block for division on the redefining of the electoral boundaries of St. Lucia.
Yeah, the last time the proposal came there, if I recall quite well, that the then member for Castries Office, Guy Joseph, took the Electoral Commission to court, and that was stalled. So since then, no one has looked at it. But when you look at those constituencies, really and truly, when you look at Grosley, we look at the size of Grosley constituency.
I think it's almost 25,000, an electorate of about 25,000 now.
Yeah, in 2021, had Grosley registered voters 24,418. All right, and the second largest was Castries East, I think, which was 12,790.
That's half. That's really half.
And Castries Southeast would be 12,677. And then the other large constituency would be Swazi with 9,546. Now, although in terms of population, Choiseul is quite small in terms of population. But when you look at the constituency itself, I think Choiseul is the largest constituency.
Yes, geographically.
Geographically, yes. And so when you look at Grosley, because Grosley starts from Shockbridge and everything north of Shockbridge, going up to part of Babonneau, and a lot of what is on the left side. You come down.
Babonneau, they call it Dauphin.
Dauphin. Well, not Dauphin, yeah. And what is on the left side, Monnier, Desrameaux, Dauphin, is some all part of Grosley. And then you have Babonneau from starting from the Shock River. Everything right is Babonneau, and it goes boundaries with South Castries, Babonneau, boundaries with South Castries, it boundaries with East Castries, boundaries with, well, of course, Grosley. So when you look at really and truly, those constituencies are very, very, very large. And how I could understand the difficulty in one person managing constituencies that are so large. And then when you look at, for example, Castries South, Castries South is Fouacho, Banan, Latok, Cicero, Marigot, Ticolon, Bassin Joseph.
But you could even look at the electorate of a constituency like Dennery South, about 5,000. So you're looking at, let's say the constituency fund is $1 million annually. You're looking at someone with an electorate of $5,000 being given $1 million, and someone with an electorate of 24,000 being given that same $1 million to manage their constituencies. It is unfair.
Yeah, as per the last election, Dennery South has registered, that was the last election, 5,391 registered voters, which is the smallest that there is.
So you have Grosley fitting into that almost 5 times. 5 times in terms of the electoral size. So really and truly, it is something that I hope the next administration really takes into consideration and really puts in place, would be the splitting of the constituency as well as the other constituencies that are 12,000 going. This is something that's really much needed. But I think in the case of Grosley, even more so, because I think even the current parliamentary representative and the former parliamentary representative, Kenton Casimir and Leonard Montu, on different occasions have indicated that Grosley is the largest constituency. It is the most difficult constituency to manage. Also thinking about it in a economic sense, you have some of the most richest people living in that constituency, and you have some of the most poorest people in St. Lucia living in that same constituency. So how are you to manage the dynamics of that with the same resources that somebody who's managing a community of constituency of 5,000 to manage? So it is something that is necessary.
Even when you look at Central Castries before it was realigned, Central Castries was pretty small. Central Castries in 1974, you had 1,666. Then we look at 1997, Central Castries 2,326. It was the smallest. Yeah? Your city was the smallest, and that was 1997, and I think next 97, and when you go then, I think in 2006. It was realigned, and then it went to 8,000. So it grew by 6,000 because they took some from Castries North and Castries East to form Central Castries, because you had a lot of persons moving away from Central Castries and moving into the other urban areas, and therefore you would have just maybe 1,000 or plus 1,000 persons that would be registered voters. And for your city, for you to have that as the seat of government, where you have all the main offices and whatnot, I think it was a bit ridiculous, and hence they went and have those changes.
And look, our guys in the studio were able to put it up on the screen for us, so there we can see it clearly, the Castries Central seat the number of registered voters right there, and that was in the 2006 elections.
Yes.
So if we can, guys, if you can bring us to the last election, the 2021 elections, for us to see right there on the screen. You have it. So you have Grosile sitting at a whooping 24,418 registered voters, and having, I think, the next largest constituency is actually Babono at 12,942,
and then
42.
the third there would be 12,600. No, would be Castries East, and then you'd have South Castries 12,600. Now, interestingly, when you look at Choiseul, which is, I think, the largest constituency in terms of population, they don't. I think we are due for a commercial break. When we return, we will do some more. We'll dive deeper into. We will look at three constituencies. Donc, trois constituencies. Donc, vieux for Nord et puis vieux for Sud, et puis aussi là-bas, donc regarder quelle manière moun a voté, qui les partisans qui a gagné, et puis de faire ces candidats qui a monté et puis qui laisse qui gagne. Donc ça, oui, on écoute, pas remote ça, qui était côté parce que ça, bagay qui est venu plus chaud. Moi ça l'appli qu'à tomber dans là, mais nous kay chauffe et puis un pile information en dedans ici. C'est ici, oui, là, nous kay vivre tout à l'heure.
St. Lucia, Hot 7 TV was the first to bring you a full HD newscast. Now, here's another first. The Hot 7 Nightly News is now your first newscast for the evening in St. Lucia. You heard Hot 7 Nightly is now at 7:15. Yes, tune in at 6:40 p.m. and be the first to catch the latest happenings in your world. On the run, watch us on your cell phone or tablet via the Caribbean Hot FM. Trusted, objective journalism from our diligent news team. Get it fresh, get it hot. The Hot 7 Nightly News, now at 7:15. Watch us on channel 117 on Flow, channel 7 Plug and Play, or follow us on Facebook Live on Caribbean Hot 7 TV.
From your desk to your lunch table, whether you're on the job or taking a well-deserved break, get the top stories and breaking news all in one place. Join us Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. for Hot 7 Midday News, bringing you the latest headlines from and around the region. Stay connected, stay informed, only on Hot 7 TV.
Did you know that while you're busy with your day, important news is breaking all around you? From politics to weather updates, community stories, and breaking news. Hot 7 TV keeps you in news every hour on the hour. Don't wait to hear it secondhand. Stay ahead. Stay informed with Hot 7 TV St. Lucia. News notes on the hour. Stay updated wherever you are. Catch Hot 7 TV St. Lucia's news every hour on the air, on our mobile app, and on our website.
Looking for the best way to advertise? Stop searching. Hot 7 TV gives you more reach, more impact, and more value. Get your business in front of the right audience and watch your sales soar. Don't miss out. Call 452-6040 today. Take advantage of our exclusive advertising packages. Hot 7 TV. Smart advertising for smart businesses.
Now you can take Hot FM, Kiss FM, and Hot 7 TV with you wherever you go, whether in Lucia or exploring our four corners of the globe. Our record-breaking app has already been downloaded over 500,000 times on Google Play and the Apple App Store. To bring you the best in HD sound, we've relaunched a brand new app. Get it for free in the App Store by simply searching Caribbean Hot FM HD. Listen to us in real time, anywhere, any place, anytime. We've added so many cool new features like our live studio option, where you can see your favorite announcers and DJs at work. So download the app today. It's free. Spread the news. Say now in HD around the world on the Hot FM app. Don't miss out. Join the fun and stay connected.
When the time comes to say goodbye, FM and Hot 7 TV provides a thoughtful, easy way to share memories of your loved ones. A mini tribute across both radio and television in one simple, affordable package. Our Total Tribute Package. Creole Deaf Announcements, the most trusted and popular choice across the island. Televised obituaries, a dignified visual remembrance of a loved one in high definition quality. Free YouTube upload. Each televised obituary is uploaded on Hot 7's YouTube channel, making it easy to share with friends and family abroad.
Obituaries will be aired live at 6:30 a.m. on Hot FM Radio and 7 a.m. and p.m. on Hot 7 TV Flow Channel 117, Hot 7 TV Plug and Play Channel 7, and the Hot FM mobile app.
Let us help you remember, share, and honor. Ask about the Hot FM Total Tribute Package today. For more information, contact at 452-6040 or email us at caribbeanhotfm@gmail.com. Hot FM Communications, honoring your loved ones with dignity, tradition, and reach.
Welcome back and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Election Countdown. You're with me, Rejan Montut, and I am alongside my host, Mr. H, also known as Enix Joseph. This program is being simulcast on Hot 7 TV and Kiss FM. You can follow us on Flow, Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot TV HD app, and the Caribbean Hot FM TV Facebook page, and the Hot TV Plug and Play digital antenna. Again, we started our program sharp at 8 p.m. and we'll be with you up until 10 p.m. Trust me, you want to stay tuned to us. Our phone line will also be open for us to take your calls. This is Election Countdown with me, Rejan Montut, and Mr. Henning.
Merci Pile, bienvenue encore. On va continuer à parler à sur l'élection 2025. Dimanche passé, le Premier ministre, Honorable Philippe Pierre, il a annoncé, il sonne cloche là, billing. Et puis il dit, nous allons aller à y voter le 1er décembre 2025. Et puis, jour de nomination, c'est novembre le 21. Et puis ça, c'est vendredi qui va venir. Et puis ça, c'est pour ça que nous ne pouvons pas parler à ces candidats. Nous allons faire ça la semaine prochaine, s'il vous plaît. Parce que chaque partisan, il y a des candidats, nous savons ça, et puis il y a d'autres indépendants. Mais c'est après nomination féminine, nous savons qui quantité de candidats l'année, et puis comme un monde qui a payé l'argent, et puis ça a monté pour l'élection 2025.
Okay.
Oui, so we said we would be taking a deep dive into the three constituencies, Labrie, which is predominantly, which has been held by the St. Lucia Labour Party from many years now.
Many years. So actually, Henix, from my research, the St. Lucia Labour Party has had its stronghold in these three constituencies. We see at one point in time, though, Labour, Beaufort North and Beaufort South was one constituency. That was back in 1964. And that was UWP who actually took that seat home. However, thereafter, after the seats broke up into the three constituencies, UWP has never since 1964 held on to the Labrie seat and has not held on to the Beaufort North seat. We only saw on two occasions, in 74 and in 82. I think in 82 it was Eldridge Stevens who won that seat. The UWP. However, that would leave us to about 7 election cycles since 82, where the St. Lucia Labour Party has held on to the Vieux Fort South, Vieux Fort North, and Labrie seat. That is 35 years of Labour in those 3 constituencies.
And counting, I dare say. Yes, quite interesting. And when you look at from 1974, the margins of victory in 1974, you had SLP 993, UWP 217. I was in 74. In 1979, when you had a big swing, you had SLP 2,275, UWP 805.
And that was in 97, also the year of our independence, correct?
Yes. And in 1982, you had UWP, and that was when. Now, in 1982, when the UWP, that's the only time UWP won that seat.
Vieux Fort
It's
South.
Vieux Fort South. It's quite interesting in that it was a 3-cornered fight. So you had the SLP, 884, the United Workers' Party with Eldridge Stevens, 1,075, and you had the PLP, 466. And if you add what the PLP and the SLP, they actually have they combined, they've got more votes than of the UWP. So one could say that the PLP coming there was an upsetter. One could deduce that the PLP took away votes from both political parties. But since then, and then in 1987, you had the SLP getting 1,487 seats, UWP getting 1,029. Yeah. And then 87, and then you had in 92, and in 92, where you had a swing against the SLP, you had SLP 1,494 and the UWP 1,300 votes. They're winning by only 134 votes.
Wow.
And then again, you had in 1997, you have the SLP 2,262, and then the UWP 1,289. So I think in 1997, no, 2000, yeah. So in 1997, the UWP, that's when Kenny Anthony came on the scene, and he won. And then the trend continues from the time we all know from the time Kenny Anthony got there that seat remained with the St. Lucia Labour Party, and then
Another interesting thing I wanted to bring up, I like the fact that you took us way back from in the history, but I want to bring us right up until the 2000 era, where in the 2016 election, and I found that election very interesting for Vieux Fort South. We had the Honorable Kennedy Anthony, the candidate for the SLP during that time, and we had Mr. Uric McDonald Mondesi, who was the candidate for the UWP, and we saw a very close election that year for the Vieux Fort South seat. I think the difference in between votes was only about 240 votes, and I think Mr. Mondesi was a newcomer at that time to the political arena. That was his first election he had contested, and going home with, although he lost that election, going home with 46% of the votes, which was very close for the UWP in Vieux Fort South, something that is not commonly seen, as we know the southern constituencies to be very predominantly Labour at that. So yes, that is what we're covering in the past. But let's take it to modern day. Let's take it to the 2025 election, and let's see what's going on right now. So let's start with Vieux Fort South. We were already on Vieux Fort South. We have 2 candidates, really.
Let me just say that the phone lines are open, and you could call at 450-0777. That is 4-5-0-0-7-7. Ou sa kouye nou isi apon nou sa diskase zafè politik. Ou sa kouye video call la sur WhatsApp ou sa moutrene ki kote parce que nous sa vlani en pile c'est divers partis politiques et puis c'est moun nan ki ka moutre indépendant. Moni meeting là. So sou la ou ça qui nous c'est mucho nous qui ça qui a fait bon c'est defense meeting là qui tout partout là ni whistle stop là ni whistle blower là ni toute qualité soufflette ka soufflette la ligne mais là ni toute qualité c'est bagay ça là et bon ça qui nous ici et puis pour nous ni en discussion à ce qui ça qui ka aller qui manière bagay ka aller.
But yes, I want to discuss Beaufort South for a bit, and we have two candidates going up for that seat on the Labour Party ticket. We have Mr. Danny Butcher, who's a newcomer to the St. Lucian political arena. He will be taking over from...
He's a newcomer in terms of a candidate, but he's not new to politics because he well said that he was the chairperson he was the campaign manager for Dr. Anthony.
Ah, very, very interesting. I did not know that one, he being a campaign manager. That is very interesting. So yes, and just a little information I could have received on Mr. Butcher. And before I even go to that, I just want to make a plea out to our candidates contesting for the 2025 election to put out some information, put out your biographies, put out your summaries of yourself as an individual, some of your personal achievements, some what you've accomplished, you know, for us to be able to really put to the table and put to task and compare and contrast the candidates in general. You know, it's
but I think that is left to the political parties because anyone who's vying for the candidacy, they would have had to present the bio to the political parties. So I think...
or at least their CV.
Yes, so I think it's up to now the political parties to put out the CV on the Facebook page and what have you of those candidates so that persons could really and truly understand, do a deep dive into those persons and understand when they're speaking, what they're saying, where they're coming from, whether they are an authority to speak on the subject matter, or if they hold a ministry, as to whether we think that they are quite fit to be holding whatever ministry that they are holding.
Very important. But yes, a little bit about Danny. I was able to find out that he is a teacher or has been a teacher, and he also holds a master's in education. And of course, we're moving on to the UWP candidate. Very popular, I should say, to the broadcasting radio field. We have Liana Johannes Paul, also known as Lady Lee, running for the UWP ticket. Many, I know she's well experienced in announcing and broadcasting. She's a media personality for many, many years in St. Lucia, and she's currently pursuing a bachelor's in health sciences. So, do we have any independent candidates for that seat?
I am not sure as yet. We could only know that after Election Day
on Friday.
After the big fun flair at the barbecue and the chicken and rum.
Alex, you seem very excited for the chicken and rum pack.
Unfortunately, I do not consume any alcohol after it. but
you on a diet, or is it something? No, you don't do it at all. We'll leave that for after the show, Alex. Anyway, so for now, these are two candidates we have for Beaufort South. What are your predictions right now, Alex? Any predictions on Beaufort South? What are you seeing? Where are you swaying to? Have you been on the ground?
I need to visit the crystal ball.
You're talking about this crystal ball. You need to bring it to the studio.
I promise I'm going to bring the crystal ball next week. I'll bring it next week, Thursday, so other persons could look into the crystal ball and see what's
in there for Beaufort South. Alex, you're all right. But yes, these are our two candidates for Beaufort South. It is very interesting to see what will happen in that.
Yes, there is APA. APA said he's an independent candidate. Let's not forget APA.
Well, after nomination day, we will know whether APA is actually a candidate.
APA did say that he is a candidate. He's going up as an independent candidate for Beaufort South. APA did declare that from very, 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 very early. So we are saying that now we have three candidates. That is Lady Lee, Danny Butcher, and APA. Give APA his credit.
Well, okay, he has declared so. However, it's only on nomination day we will know whether he will be running for the constituency of Beaufort South. Alex, you like trouble.
No, no, that's what APA said. So we have to acknowledge APA when he says, hey, he'll be a candidate. So, you know, so we have to give APA credit where credit is due.
Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to we're coming up north a bit. We're going to Beaufort North, and the candidates we have running on the SLC seasoned politician, Moses Jean-Baptiste, who entered politics, I think, is in '06. We saw the coming of Moses Jean-Baptiste as a candidate for the St. Lucia Labour Party and has been able to maintain his seat or his candidacy, being the parliamentary rep, for Vieux-Fort North. He is also, prior to politics, he also had his stint as an agriculture teacher from the research I was able to uncover. Going up against Moses Jean-Baptiste, we have Calix Kakal-Xavier. And okay, let's take that call.
We have a call? Yes. Boss, bienvenue pour election countdown. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Okay, so yes, I was saying about going up against Moses Jean-Baptiste. We have Calix Kakal-Xavier, who has over 30 years experience as a police officer in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, and also outside of his professional capacity, he is also a well-known soca artist in St. Lucia. So Vieux-Fort North, any words on Vieux-Fort North right now?
Cecily.
Break that one down for me, please. That one.
Cecily was the longest serving member representing Vieux-Fort North. And Cecily never really had a ministry.
Hold that thought. We have that call. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Election Countdown.
Hello?
I think
yes, from last night, your telephone, whatever you have there is not working too good. That's why you can't hear us.
Okay, right now we are hearing you very loud and
yes,
clear.
We're hearing
Very, very
call.
clear.
I guess we fixed the issue tonight.
What I want to tell you, Mr. Spider Motut Sunday, that they are going to drop their manifesto tomorrow, Thursday, in Soufrière.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Thank you for
yes,
that
he
call.
said that on Monday. And in Soufrière, they're going to have a big meeting tomorrow night.
Yes, I know
Yes.
they have a meeting
Yes.
tomorrow with 3 or 4 constituencies tomorrow. So
Yeah.
they will be.
That's what he said on Monday night.
Okay, thank you for that information. I missed this one. I didn't get that. So can I ask you, where are you calling from? What constituency?
Well, that's the same voice I had called out, but last night and he said it's free candidates. Free seats.
I think that was the caller from Sozel, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I remember that.
That's me.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling and tuning in.
Sozel is very, very, very hot. Tonight they have meeting. Flambeau have their meeting at Monsignor, and then Labour have theirs on the field at La Fab.
At La Fab, okay.
Okay.
Are you at any of those meetings?
Only ones, because those trouble and those things, I'm not in that. I rather to look for my breakfast for tomorrow morning than those things.
Okay, but sorry, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Hennig, I can listen to you.
If we have had some very intense campaign, both political parties, on the issues that have been spoken about or been presented there. If you had to vote for a political party, what topic or what subject, what is it that they've been discussing would be the deal breaker for you?
The deal breaker for me will be quarreling on those things, because again.
The question is, what I'm trying to ask you is the issues, the topics, what they've been saying, what subject, what is it a political party have been saying that would force you or would cause you to vote for them and not the other?
Well, it's only once I attend a meeting, I'm not living there. I can't tell you nothing about that because I'm not going to attend meeting and those things. I rather sit at my home, because with all that noise, roo and them things, people quarreling with people and those things, and the next day we want to be together. It can't be so.
I understand, we understand that, caller, but is there anything that you like the government, the incoming government, to do for your constituency, or in terms of nationally, any priority area or issue you think that should be addressed by an incoming government?
Trust me. from the whatever date he came, he was in power, listening to Chasney. Chasney was going to follow in John Compton's footsteps. Now, I rather follow Chasney with all his this and that he said he's going to do than following Philly J. Pierre. Because my first vote, I voted about 11, I voted about 5 times, and that's about 11 votes. 11 times that I'm going to see people voting in St. Lucia, because I'm not young. My first vote was for Peter Josie in Castries. My second vote was for Peter Phillip. Second vote was Peter Phillip. Third fourth was for Vance Pilgrim for the chair.
That's PLP.
PLP. And that's where two policemen came inside of the school and picked me up and take me outside the school. Reason why? They said I was already voted, and that wasn't true.
Okay, so
So
you've been
so I was so scared. Everybody watching that with the city policeman coming out.
Yeah, that was sad. So you've been
Let me tell you. Sorry. Let me tell you. My son Ishmael, and
Ishmael.
Them areas have a lot of Ishmael. Foresters and those areas have a lot of Ishmael. Therefore, and then somebody came in, and apparently they crossed my name, showing that I vote already, and that wasn't true. I had bought a score book. I went to bed. I didn't score. I didn't do nothing, not even eat for the night, because I was so scared. And then it's tomorrow morning I got to know which party that won. It was very, 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 very terrible. But even at work, I was feeling shaky next day. So, and I've been seeing a lot, Mr. Hennick, through election things. The time of the Plywood City, I was in the city when they in Lailon Kaka.
Moi t'es trop jeune à l'aise, moi t'en à ce sacrifice et puis moi pas ça ville mais moi t'es trop jeune pour moi ça really comprendre qui ça qui est allé. Mais c'était un temps qui était terrible.
3 of us that take Mason. Clendon, is it Clendon Mason?
Clendon Mason, yes, oui.
The
Jaws.
one from Denry.
Denry, sorry, tu as Jaws.
Jaws. He was wearing those big thing glasses. The glasses fell from his eye. He couldn't see. We hold him, passed through Cable and Wireless there, behind JQ there, and brought him by the fire engine, by police station fire engine, and we drop him there. And that's the first time I saw what they call tear gas. At that time they had the jeep with tins, steel around it. It's like a wire mesh or something like that. And it had a hole inside of it. That's the first time I saw that in my life.
Okay, merci.
So I've seen a lot.
Okay, merci Apil. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paula, for sharing.
Okay, so we were looking at the and polling division. So let us look at the if we may look at the polling divisions and what have you. So you have polling division because Vifanov is the constituency with L. So that's Vifanov. So polling division L1, that is Vijekako, Canal South, Rune, and then you have L2, you have Saint-Aubin, Mont Cayenne, Pierrot, Montrouge.
And we have another call.
Hello, bonsoir.
Good evening, caller. Welcome to Election Countdown.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, you'll hear me clear?
Very clear.
Yes.
Our technicians are doing an excellent work. Well done, guys.
All right. Pertaining to this election, now I want to let you know my location is Barbonoa. All right. If you'll notice, the last election in 2021, SLP won that election by 49,000 persons who vote for them. That same election, 37,000 plus voted for UWP, right? What I'm saying is that in 2016, it was the United Workers' Party that won that election. And then came 2021, SLP won it. The other question I'm asking is that why would, with that huge mandate, 15-2 in the previous election, why did SLP allow Flobo to reach so close in winning this election?
That's in
This coming election.
But the elections persons have not voted there as yet, so we cannot say it is close. You could say it appears to be close with the crowds that will say.
I'll tell you it's close, huh? It's close.
You're saying it's close.
Now, reason why I'm saying that is because I have been, honestly speaking, I'm telling you the truth. I have been predicting elections since 1997. And all my election predictions were correct. All of them. All of them were correct. I saw the 1997, I saw the momentum shift. I knew that. Persons were doubting me, but I knew that. I saw 2016, persons who were always doubting me. I knew that. I saw 2021, where Flobo was afraid. All those persons were afraid. I told them, you're going to lose. I saw the momentum. Right? Now this one, it's the momentum still continues. I do not believe St. Lucia will have a two-term administration, not in this future. I don't think so. So I could safely say that my predictions this time, it is 15-2 in favor of Flobo.
Oh, wow.
And if you on the question you may ask me which seats I'm referring to?
Yes, please. That would be interesting.
Very interesting seats. Well, okay, you know quite well. The first one will be Castries East.
Castries East. Okay, so that's the
Castries East.
Philip J. Pierre.
Yeah, that's Philip J. Pierre office. Philip J. constituency. And the second one, I'm looking at Vieux-Fort North, Kakal. I think they're going to have some serious upsets, just like the previous election where North took it. It went in favor of SLP. I have a feeling that's going to happen. So they're going to have, I believe they will have some serious upsets. A lot of people will be disgruntled. A lot of people will be sad. Look out for a lot of heart failures and stroke in this election.
So kadi moun kosa milka un peu bat manche so kadi yo prepare faire cette qui yo ouvert l'hôpital Saint Jude parce que la kanya pile moun qui aller Saint Jude.
Oui, prepare cause Saint Jude's pour kay ouvert pour ça. Nagados are prepare cause to upset Saki Gavinila, because you see the thing is that what I noticed about Flobo, as I said in the previous election, Flobo did contribute to SLP's winning the previous election. You know that, eh? Did contribute that.
How
that
so?
10,000 seats. Hello?
Yes, so I'm listening behind you.
Yeah, that 10,000 extra voters that they got in the previous election. You may think it's a daunting task. That $10,000, Flobo may not get that back. But as I said, Flobo has contributed to SLP's SLP's winning this election, the last election, 2021. So I look at it from inception, where 1997, 16-1. The other one was that after Kenny lost in 2011, I think. Then when Compton emerged in 2007, I knew that Compton was going to get that, Flobo was going to win that seat, that election. Now, this one is not too far away from the 2007, because I was at the 2007 rally that they had in the Boulevard when Compton were there, and then at the same time, Richard Frederick had to, I don't know if you can remember, he had displayed his shirt as a Flobo. He was on the banner of a hammer. I was there, I saw that. So the feeling is sort of mutual. With the previous rally that Flobo had in 2007, in Sunday, compared to the one in 2007, it's just similar.
Yeah, I would agree with you, because I remember quite clearly when the SLP had a rally in Vieux-Fort, And the following Sunday, the United Workers' Party had a rally, and they had to stop the rally and push the stage back because the place was just flooded with people.
Yes.
And I think from that time, persons did say, you know what, I believe that Flabo would win, and Flabo actually won. So if we have to go, on where that is concerned, historically, we could say right now, we could say maybe Flabo has the edge because of that rally and the volume of persons that we saw. Plus, it was raining. And thank you very much. As we have another call coming in.
Just imagine, because of they had the rain, and yet like the guy still stayed there. You know, he stood there. He stood there. I call that rally the letter T. If you notice, from customs to the police headquarters to the boulevard and to by Royal Bank, I call that the letter T.
Okay.
But when I looked at it, I realized there were so many people by the market, all on the square and everything, scattered all about the place. I said that is when Flabos come out. But Flabos don't usually come out. Flabos don't usually come out.
Okay, thank you very much,
you want to ask
caller.
me about the Babylon seat?
No, we have to. Somebody else is trying to call to get the line. But you could always send a message on the call on WhatsApp, and we'll put it there for you. Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Good evening. Welcome to Elections Countdown.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
We are doing quite well, thank you.
Where are you calling from?
Beaufort South.
What's up?
And I'm here to tell you that caller that just called them talking about Takal, that caller must be mad. Takal can never win Mucha. Never. And 17 not.
17
not in favor of
SLP.
But caller, sorry. But the SLP does not have 17 candidates, only have 15 candidates.
Let me tell you, 15 to SLP, there are 2 independents. You all know they're in the SLP, in the Labour Party government, so.
Okay. So, but you said So you said essentially that the United Workers' Party will not win any seat in this upcoming election. The two that they have, they were not going to win it.
No, because let me tell you, I think Alan Chasney have done enough. Not a thing was done in Beaufort for the 6 years. Nothing.
Are you still there, caller?
Yes, I am.
You said Alan Chasney, but Alan Chasney, you say he did nothing while she was there. Yeah?
For the 6 constituencies that did not vote at him. He punished us, and let me tell you, PJP is giving a piece of the pie to everybody. My pension gone up, school children getting laptops, CXC being paid, 1 graduate per household, St. Jude will be opening, and the list goes on. Nice workers being permanent.
Hello?
Nice workers will be permanent. And then tomorrow there's a grand ceremony. About 2,000 workers that's on contract will be permanent. He's sharing the pie. So who's going back? Who's against themselves? I am voting for my children and my children's children. And I tell you, not a seat. And you know what I want? For Chasney and Bradley to answer what they do with the monies that they collected from the government.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller.
Listening.
Thank you very much. Have yourself a pleasant evening. The caller, interesting what the caller said there, that that the 2 independent candidates, we all know, he said that we all know that they are Labour. They're not independent
candidates. So they are
candidates.
independent Labour candidates. You remember we were speaking, you asked that question, how could you be independent but on the side of a party? But look, we have it here. People are seeing the ship, people are seeing which sides the independent candidates are leading towards, although independent by its definition should mean that you are of neither side. But anyway, we were speaking.
We're looking at Vieux Fort North, and the first candidates we had Cecil Lay and Murray Thomas, UWP candidate. That was back in 1974. Yes, 1974. Cecil, yes.
The election of our independence. I like to call that one the independence election.
Independence election.
Yes.
Yes, it was a very, very interesting one. That was July 2nd, 1970. You had one July 2nd, 1979, where you had the Sicily get 1,227 votes, and Murray getting 435 votes.
That was a beating.
Yes. I mean, I think the person who has gotten the closest, I think, was when there was a swing. It was, who was the candidate now? That one is right now. But Cecily has been there from, like I said, from 1979 up until when Musa took over.
Okay. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Election Countdown.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Where are you?
That's the same person, Mr. Joseph. That's the same person. Mr. Joseph, that's a shame for Adam Munkadi, Bradley Pathway. Mr. Joseph, to see in the area where I live, in the street, where I live around in the street, where Bradley gave us money to make a road. All contractors build a road. Imagine I fait di Bradley pas spend l'argent. Mr. Joseph, tout ici mais qui la small contractors qui fait chon had avec bagay moun de ka pon pou yo te souye yo kan toi. That's not it anymore. Why the people not visiting the areas, and then when they finish, they'll say what they have to say? Mr. Bradley, c'est pas l'air ou just menti à soi moun ou font go péché. C'est ça à ton mauvais. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much,
caller.
caller.
Our social caller on the line there, still tuning in, still listening. But yes, you were talking about Sicily. So he ran the election from 79 all the way up until...
all the way up until 2006.
Oh, wow.
That's when Musa came in, Moses Musa Shabatis, and his opponent was Carl Daniel for the United Workers' Party. And Musa got 1,942, and Carl got 944. So this, then you had Nancy Charles coming up in 2011 with getting 2,241, that is Musa and Nancy. The first person to get to the thousands, 1,051. Even with she getting 1,000, she was still beaten badly. Okay, I think now we are due for our second break. We're going to take a break right now, and when we return, we're going to look more into Vieux Fort North, Vieux Fort South, and Labrie. So don't touch that dial, as it is getting hotter and hotter as we get closer towards election 2025. We'll be right back.
St. Lucia, Hot 7 TV was the first to bring you up. Is now your first newscast for the evening in St. Lucia. You heard right. The Hot 7 Nightly News is now at 7:15. Yes, tune in at 6:45 p.m. and be the first to catch the latest happenings in your world. On the run, watch us on your cell phone or tablet via the Caribbean Hot app. Trusted, objective journalism from our diligent news team. Get fresh. The Hot 7 Nightly News, now at 7:15. Watch us on Channel 117 on Flow, Channel 7 Plug and Play, or
Apple App Store. To bring you the best in HD sound, we've relaunched a brand new app. Get it for free in the App Store by simply searching Caribbean Hot FM HD. Listen to us in real time anywhere, any place, anytime. We've added so many cool new features like the option where you can see your favorite announcers and DJs at work. So download the app today. It's free. Spread the news. Is now in HD around the world on the Hot FM app. Don't miss out. Join the fun and stay connected.
Welcome back to Election Countdown. You are with me, Rejan Montes, and I am with my co-host, Mr. Henrik Joseph. You are watching this program. You watch this program simulcast on Hot 7 TV and Kiss FM. And you can also tune into Flow 117 Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot TV HD mobile app, the Caribbean Hot TV Facebook page, and the Hot TV plug and play digital antenna. We were just about talking about Beaufort, wrapping up our discussions on Beaufort North. When interestingly, Henrik told to inform me that since 1979 up until the 2001 elections, we had Cicely running for, that will be a total of 6 election cycles. 6 cycles. Sitting as the candidate for Beaufort North and the parliamentary rep for Beaufort North until he was succeeded by Moses Jean-Baptiste, who came on in 2006 and still maintains that stride as parliamentary rep for that area. The question is, Henrik, will we continue to see Moses Jean-Baptiste, who is the candidate contesting for Beaufort North, see him again being the parliamentary rep for Beaufort North in the 2025 election?
What I could safely say is that by 7 p.m. we will know. But you know, talking about that, interestingly, I remember the one year when the SLP administration lost the election. I was in Soufrière sitting with some key persons from the St. Lucia Labour Party. And by 11 o'clock, I remember very distinctly, by 11 o'clock, the St. Lucia Labour Party knew they lost the elections.
You know, that is a very interesting discussion. You know, the last election, in the 2016 election, I remember I worked that election, and there was a woman who met me at the gates, and it was about 12 o'clock. And when she had just finished voting and she walked out and she said, "I will win this election." And I looked at her and I told her, "How do you know?" She looked at me directly in my eye and she told me, "At 12 o'clock, you will always know." I wondered and I pondered about that for so long. But Henrik, I will tell you that I had the experience for myself, having worked elections, having monitoring elections, and in 2021, by 12 o'clock, I knew. Mm-hmm. The St. Lucia Labour Party had won that election.
I remember in 1979, the late George Odlum, he came to, there was a polling station right opposite my house, and he came for water, and he handed my father a piece of paper showing that in 1979, and that was about 11, 12 o'clock, that they had won the elections. So there is a science in it, and I will tell you, and I'll tell you what, persons, once you have your agents, and you have your persons in there, you've done your canvassing throughout the years, you would know who is voting for you, who are the hardcore.
Who's your base?
Right? So those who come, you think they voted, and then you pass around the constituencies and you tally. You could say, okay, you have one, and there are some key polling divisions or polling stations. You know, once you win there, by the margin that you win, whatever you get in other places, polling divisions, it's bonus. And that is one of the reasons, that's one of the ways that persons is in. Because I was saying in that election, whilst we were in Soufrière, and of course Dalso won, they know Dalso won very early. And they were putting up the big truck to start doing music and whatnot. And they're going to call Kenny, says, guys, we have lost the elections, so no celebration. Say, but yes, I'm telling you, we have lost the elections, so no celebration. Yes. So really and truly, once you do your calculations,
with your agents.
So that is why last election that the United Workers' Party is saying to you that a lot of their supporters did not turn out to vote. And I think even they as well knew from very early o'clock that they had lost the election. They were hoping against hope that by some miracle that there was some late voter out which would have assisted them in winning. But by that time, it was all gone. So there is a science, and the guys have the ways of working that out at the different angles to know what is happening and how they're doing it.
The majority of St. Lucians vote early too. That is another thing. So even I remember being at a polling station last election, and I sat there for the entire day from the morning till the evening, and you would notice that majority of St. Lucians vote between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. anyway. So by 12 p.m. you would have already have the majority of votes being casted. So if you work in your calculations right and you did your canvassing right, you could have, based on the feedback from your indoor and outdoor agents, they would be able to tell you where you stand in terms of whether are you winning, are you in the lead, are you in the end, and of course eventually tell you.
Putting things together. 1979 was where you had, if you look at View for South, where you had the first two candidates. You had Bruce Williams and you had Henry Giraudy. That is why in View for you have Henry Giraudy Avenue, and then you have the place Bruceville. It's named after Bruce Williams. And Bruce Williams, of course, the St. Lucia Labour Party, and Henry Giraudy, a long outstanding chairman of the United Workers' Party. Those two went tete-a-tete. And Bruce Williams, 1,470 votes. And Henry Giraudy, 805 votes. That was in 79. That's when you had the swing View for South. And in 1982, that was when you had Eldred Stevens winning, and then you had Peter Josie, Eldred Stevens, and Modest Downs for PLP. That's when PLP emerged. That is when, after, of course, you had the Odlum faction, and you know, they went away. And then you have SLP 884, PLP 466, and then you had the United Party, Eldred Stevens, 1,075. And that was the only time that the United Workers' Party
won that seat.
Yes.
In 82.
And then the following election, where you had Peter Josie, I think that was when Lansico beat him in Masha. People call Masha, but caste resist. And he came down to Vieux-Fort, and he actually won there. He got 1,425, and Eldred Stevens got 1,011 votes. So we see now that you had a two-cornered fight and not a three-cornered fight, that the St. Lucia Labour Party emerged victorious. And Josie is another of the politicians who was defeated in one constituency and went in another constituency and win that election.
Now that is very interesting. I think that is a very interesting concept, to see a politician lose in one constituency, jump over to another and win the seat, or vice versa. What do you think of that, and what does it say for our political demographic in terms of this happening? I know this happened a lot in the past, but we still see it happening in present day, with case in point, for example, Emma Hippolyte ran in Grosile, won on her first time and then lost on her second time, and then going over to Soufrière, where I believe she is originally from.
She is from Soufrière originally.
Yes, and winning the seat there. That is very interesting though, and it says a lot for our St. Lucian, our voting demographics. What do you have to say on that? What do you think causes that or allows for that to happen?
I think in the case of Emma, there was a national swing away from the St. Lucia, from the United Workers' Party, which favored her winning. And let's not forget, her margin of victory there wasn't anything significant. So with a swing away from the United Workers' Party, Herod, who was the incumbent, still held his own, so to speak, with a margin of less than 100, or was it 165 or less than 100 votes that that Emma won. Sir John did it. He left Micoud South and he went to Micoud North. He also won. Damian Graves, unfortunately, he left Denry South and he went to Denry North and he lost. Yes.
It was actually 65 votes.
65 votes.
Emma won
by 65 votes. And you know, the thing is, and like I always say, when we encourage people to go out to vote, I remember when Spider lost to Emma the first time by 16 votes, was it? Or thereabout. I remember a guy sitting on the block and he was crying and he was saying, boy, you know, there was a van load of us for Spider supporters, and we just went, and if only we went to vote on that day, Spider would have won the election. So the importance of going out there to vote.
Counts.
And there was one thing I tend to say to people that, you know, go to the political meetings, go to the rallies, conduct yourself in a very, in a manner that's good. And listen to what that is going to be the deal breaker for you for that election.
And it was actually, just to clarify, it was not 16, 6.
6 votes.
6 votes. And a busload of people
partying.
Oh my goodness.
You know, the thing that we like to say, as a party, I vote. But how could you say, how could you say that? Until such time, when you hear 6 o'clock and the ballot closed.
The gates closed, ballots start counting.
Then you could say, okay, once it's counted, you could say, yes, I have won. You know, it's official. But don't say the rallies and whatnot, I don't need to go out to vote.
And still in that same election, that was the 2011 election where you had Spider losing by 6 votes. You also had Ezekiel Joseph who lost by 2.
By 2 votes.
2 votes. Could you imagine that? So imagine if you were a supporter of Ezekiel Joseph and you sat home that day thinking, Bossman win already, and now seeing that he lost by 2 votes, that is indeed something. So it just goes to show what we've been saying, every vote counts. Do not sit home, whether you support the United Workers' Party or you support the St. Lucia Labour Party. Don't sit home and figure out that your party won already. Go out and vote. Every single vote counts, and we want, of course, to express our franchise. I think we spoke in our first episode about adult suffrage and all the blood that was shed just for you to have the right to decide on who leads your country. So you should not spit in the face of your ancestors, and you should go out on election day, Monday, December 1st. Go out and express that franchise. But
you know, if we're going back to Vieux South, so Eldridge Stephen ran in 1992. He won. 1982, sorry. He won. He ran in 1987 against Josie. He lost. He again ran in 1987, yes, I said he lost. And he again ran in 1992 against Josie. And he lost as well. But interestingly this time, Peter Josie got 1,494 and Eldridge got 1,360. I think we have a call. Good evening. Welcome to Election Watch, Election Countdown. Hello?
Good evening.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Mr. Renrick and your colleagues.
Good night.
I just wanted to ask you if you can accept any other contribution.
Sorry?
Towards what you were discussing there. I suspect you're just discussing about. Hello? Yeah, could you hear me?
We could hardly, we're not hearing you too clearly.
Okay. You know, what I want
Okay, we hear you very clearly right now.
All right. So, ça m'a dit si me m'a dit en patois plutôt parce que m'a dit en anglais.
Pas de problème, vous savez parler anglais, créole, pas de problème.
OK. Est-ce qu'il est possible côté qui m'a ça expliquer yon bagay about yon un politician, un past politician, un minister?
Lodi,
comme ça on est là.
Depuis où ça parle mais pas dit rien côté ou kay mette corps et kay mette non toi ka.
OK. Well, ça qui fait là, moi pas vle moi l'homme non moun na. Vous comprenez? Mais manière ma expliquer moi l'idée publique ka comprendre ça nga dire. Bon, aussi moi pas vle expliquer et puis mode bail ça fait là et puis pour y dommager gouvernement même qui kaivinian et bien ça qui là parce que il n'y pour faire et puis le World Bank là bye World Bank là et puis on passe ministre sur mon opinion à tout ça.
Makado, ok. Des morceaux à ce programme-là, dit qu'on ou ça a couillé puis parler à ce Mathieu Sala. On serait de pas parler à ce critiquer bagay comme ça. On serait de parler à ce élection qui m'a dit bagay aller pour élection en cette ici. Donc regarder en diverses matières qui m'a dit bagay aller pour ces politiciens qui là, ces candidats qui là et puis ces Mathieu Sala. So ça peut dire couiller des morceaux là qu'a fait c'était à ce programme-là. Dis-moi d'où à ce Hot FM et puis parole ça vous dire là ou Kaisa dit. D'accord? OK. OK.
Et aussi si vous voulez les mots moi ça
non, ça couiller studio à 4 5 8 10 53. Couiller demain on souhaite les café c'était mais qu'il y a une opportunité pour ça parler pour ça dire que ça qui a affecté vous.
D'accord.
OK. Pas de problème. OK. Une bonne soirée.
Good.
Okay. Yes. So back to where we were, and that was in 1992. That's when Eldridge ran again against Peter Josie, and he came pretty close. Mm-hmm. He only lost by 134 votes.
Mm-hmm. And we saw something very interesting happening in the election after that, the 97 election, where we saw the Peter Josie, who ran as candidate for VFOTA for so many election cycles, then turning over, what's the term that we used earlier?
Across the floor.
Across the floor.
So
being politically correct, he changed allegiance.
So he ran from 1982 as a candidate for the St. Lucia Labour Party up until 1992.
So that's 15 years, 3 election cycles.
And then he switched allegiance and he ran in 1997 against Kenny Anthony. That's when Kenny Anthony just came on the scene.
Okay, let's take that call. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Election Countdown.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Castries.
Where Castries?
Huh?
What part of Castries are you calling from?
Cicero.
Cicero. Okay, so that's Castries South.
Castries South.
Fine. I just would like you to add one little element to your little discussion there.
Sure, go right ahead.
Because we speak about people losing by 1 vote and 2 votes, right? It would be interesting if you could add how many spoiled votes were in each of these constituencies also.
Sorry, just repeat that one last time. We didn't get that last
How many
statement.
spoiled votes were in each of these constituencies? Just add that to your mix. All right?
Very good.
But
we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that in a
the thing is, it does not say the spoiled votes. It does not say which candidate. It will just say spoiled votes, but it doesn't say who.
It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, yes, you have a very large number of the spoiled votes. Yes. Now I remember when Mangal ran against Guy, Mangal lost by a few hundred votes, and the majority of the spoiled votes were actually Mangal's own. And if you have to add, so persons are saying, technically speaking, Mangal won the election. He got more of the total votes cast. No, hold on. He got more total votes cast. However, he had more total votes spoiled. So therefore, Guy had more legitimate votes So therefore, Guy won the election that year.
All right, I'll be listening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Yes, so that is a very interesting observation by the caller, that the number of and you have had a very high percentage of spoil votes, and I know the various constituency groups, the various politicians are working towards that to help persons to go and understand how it is to put a vote. You know, I am laughing because I know they were looking at about using the stamp and the X. And suffice it to say, it was the opposition party that was against using the stamp. That they said, you know what? No, we don't understand. Let persons continue going to put the X. Maybe on our last episode, technician, if we could put that together, that on our last episode, that we are going to have a demonstration of how to go about putting the X, how to go about voting, and what is the correct way to vote and what is the wrong way. But one thing I want to say to people, please, if you have spent time staying on the line for hours, do not go and spoil the vote deliberately, or do not just go in and walk back out. To me, it makes no sense. You've spent hours. À souligner. Et puis pour toi là, il faut aller gâter voter pour rien, et puis pour nous pas aller voter encore. Et puis moi des cas région, peut-être je ne sais pas là, nous qu'à faire jeudi prochain, si vous voulez qu'il y ait dernier programme nous, côté nous qu'à instruire moun qui manière pour aller voter. Nous pas qu'à do by qui laisse pour voter, mais nous qu'à instruire à ce qui manière pour mettre ti quoi bon partisan et bien nom là et bien femme là ou voulez voter by là. We have a call. Bonsoir, election countdown.
Hi, good evening.
Bonsoir.
Hi, good day.
Oui,
Hi, we can hear you. What constituency are you calling
I'm
from?
not hearing clearly.
Can you hear us now?
Can you clear sky, please?
Okay, I'm not hearing clearly, but let me just make my contribution. I'm just calling from the Choiseul constituency. And I'm thinking that SLP will retain the government, and I say the amount is 10-5-2.
10-5-2.
10 SLP, UWP 5, and the independent 2.
Okay, thank you for that caller. Very interesting. And just to understand a bit, can you list for us? Oh, I think we lost the caller. I was just going to ask her if she could list for us any of the seat she would have called for either of the parties. But okay, thank you for that contribution. So we were talking about the rejected ballots or spoiled votes.
No, well, the correct terminology is rejected, not spoiled. Is rejected ballots.
Ballots.
If you go on the site, thank you. Somebody just pointed out to us, somebody on Facebook. Thank you very much for that observation. We said spoiled is not spoiled. It's let us be
politically correct.
So it's rejected ballots and not spoiled. So rejected.
Right,
yes.
Rejected ballots. Right. Choiseul actually had the highest amount of rejected ballots in the last election at 181 rejected ballots. That is quite. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. Actually, Ancillary Canneries had the highest number of rejected ballots.
191.
191 rejected ballots. So I think it would be wise for the candidates, especially looking at the constituencies with the high numbers of rejected ballots. Take some time to educate your populace on how to perform their franchise, how to put the tikwa. There was one time I was at a polling station again over the last election, and there was a lady who came in with a geometry set ready. She told me she doesn't want to spoil her vote, so she's coming in for a ruler to draw her X perfectly so she doesn't have a spoiled vote. She did not want to spoil her vote. So maybe that is something we want to encourage as well, our people to work with their rulers and to practice at home. I know for sure my mother, who was a very staunch supporter of a particular political party, who would practice the days leading up to election, take her time and practice her vote. She said, I don't want to spoil my vote. So maybe these are some of the things we need to tell our support base. To prevent such high numbers of rejected ballots, I see in Grosley there was 121 rejected ballots. In Babono over the last election there was 144 rejected ballots. So we're trying to reduce the numbers of rejected ballots. I see the lowest, Labrie, interestingly, has the lowest number of rejected ballots, standing at only 38. So again, it's on the political parties and the candidates to ensure a reduction in those numbers. So let's take that call. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Election Countdown.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, yes, I'm there.
Yes?
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Okay, hello, good evening. I must say, on the issue of the rejected ballots, it has a lot to do with the presiding officer. As a presiding officer, I would ensure that I guide the person. You know, you have a lot to do. You know, it's not just because you have a very long line, you should just go ahead and move on. You need to explain correctly, and you need to ensure that they're following instructions and they do exactly what you do, what you expect them to do. Because you are free to even go to the ballot box to peep and make sure that it's done correctly. So there is nothing wrong in that. So it really has to do with the presiding officer's task and their responsibility. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And I believe the caller did say she is a presiding officer. So it tells a lot about the diversity of our audience, and everybody is tuning into Election Countdown and into the discussion. So again, we want to encourage, including the presiding officers, to, you know, take the extra time to ensure that we're reducing the number of rejected ballots in this coming election season. We want to see lower figures so that, you know, people ensure that your vote counts. Not only do you ensure that you go out to vote on December 1st, but you're ensuring that your vote counts. Work with your geometry set, work with your ruler, practice at home, get your family relatives to help you put the cross properly. Again, it's not a tick, it's not an O, it's not a box, it's an X that you put on the ballot paper, and of course, ensure that your franchise is well met. I think we were still on discussing Vieux Fort South when we dropped into the call. So in Vieux Fort South, we saw the changeover. And what do you think of that changeover that happened in '97 with Peter Josie? I guess Vieux Fort South really showed that they are committed to voting the St. Lucia Labour Party, because even their candidate who won 3 election cycles flipped over to, let's use the politically correct term, changed allegiance. Yes, changed his allegiance and changed over. It showed us that they are voting party. They are not voting person.
They are not voting person. So they were true to. And then you had Kenny Anthony, and his opponent was Hilary Saltibus, and 2057 vis-a-vis 749. And now Hilary Saltibus has now switched allegiance, and I know he is very much in with the St. Lucia Labour Party. These were the days when I was very much involved in the political arena, when I was all over the place involved in politics. I'm not as involved as I was before. But
is that true, or are you just saying that for the show? You sound very much like you're involved. I'm pulling your leg though.
I am not as involved as I was. I prefer doing what I'm doing there right now with people.
Okay.
Good evening. Welcome to Election Countdown. Hello.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, monsieur H. Et puis bonsoir pour ti madame là, on est là pour là.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Comment vous êtes?
Ouais, moi bien, après bon Dieu.
Bon connaître voir ça assez bien.
Oui, petit programme là intéressé nous là qu'à côté.
OK.
Moi qu'à couiller en Vieux Fort South. Et puis ça moi t'ai qu'à en vie ouais. Les premiers ministres moi vie tout.
Qui est là?
Ça c'est Alan Chasley. Et que ma ils sont empêchés de vivre acide là. C'est lui qui vit acide. Là, il vit en tué. Tout c'est bon pour mettre là, il j'abandonne nous. Moi, dès qu'il demandé pour ça, tchébé en laisser pour mettre ça. Pour mieux, moi, je suis content pour 75,000 healthcare. Ça, c'est un qui est important. Chai. Moi, je suis content pour les entrer pour continuer à faire ça. Il a dit qu'il a fait. Den nous là sous gaz là en pompe là. Moun qui pas une machine qui pas même en 8 litres, yo pas kay ça dou qui mané bailler. But moi qui ni machine ka ou lek moi ni business ka le bail la pas bon et puis nous saint pièce. Et puis commission cher. Toutes ces bails ça cher. Et moi dès qu'il continue Prime Minister moi l'a entré pour ça vie 3 ans laisser même ça déjà ni là qu'on porte là. Vous comprenez? Falling Highway go Zilea. Et comme l'autre toujours. So, comme on dit, en View Fort South. Et puis, ça continue et finit l'hôpital. Like, c'est lui qui a fini.
OK.
Because, quand on attend l'hôpital, ça qui là pour finir. Puis, quand il finit, juste 2027, late, en novembre, décembre encore. Et puis, Lady Lee all the way.
OK, so Lady Lee can't tuer.
Bon, pour mieux côté qui can't tuer, pour mieux constituency qui can't tuer, quand dit frère d'Italie, un monde qui te couille plus bon, moi regarder c'est moi, c'est Guy Joseph. Il can't tuer avant. Et depuis Guy a tué nous day, Lady Lee day. Chico day. Cicero, Tommy Descat day. Den nous avions monté au Lyon. Bradley, Marcel. Den nous avions descendu avec Bradley.
Lord Bradley, au Calais Soufouye.
Et den nous avions monté qui bombe et puis là, oui.
So, comment site ou dit?
Et même si comme nous moi-même right now la regarder comme site nous hani la kali la ouais, den nous hani 13 kalid.
Ou dit 13?
13, one free. But regardez pour tout bas level, nous pouvons aider en 14 sites.
OK.
14 free. Nous avons quitté avec toi.
Quelle histoire qu'a quitté et puis? Est-ce que vous voulez dire?
Ouais, toi nous avons quitté et puis là, moi ça va là pour 800 sites qui ouais, c'est un challenge. Et nous avons regardé Gozile, nous avons un strong battle là. Et puis l'autre là, moi, j'ai regardé, c'est Central Castry. Central Castry, moi, j'ai regardé ça, but il better make quoi bien. Rochkai décalé, Rochkai fait un bail, but nous regardé 14, but il better make quoi bien pour nous pas hit avec 52. Vous comprenez?
OK.
C'est pas pièce by blague, moi qui a 12 ans là.
Thank you very much.
Confine d'Italien, bon parole, mon couille qui dit il y a 17-0. But SLP pas ni 17, qui m'a dit ça by 17-0.
Il bien dit que dès qu'il a monté indépendant,
c'est indépendant qu'il a tout le monde a ça.
C'est ça yo.
C'est ça yo. But indépendant qui casse 19 là passe en tuer. Blue pas qu'à en tuer. Monsieur peut commencer à préparer bague l'idée puis après ça pour quitter. Pas qu'à en tuer.
OK.
Et moi qu'à parler là, le prime ministre moi via acide là. Moi hani un bon petit jaune là, un petit dernier pied bois qui en y a de moi. Où ça qu'on a parlé à Henny? Dernier pied bois.
Oui, moi ça.
Petit en jaune. Ouais, il était en jaune, mais il a pris à dévier bas. Il a vu que quand le prime ministre a marché, qu'on a levé dernier pied bois en jaune.
OK. Pas de problème. OK.
Ouais, et n'a pas eu tout, hein. So, TV, bon programme.
OK, merci un peu, bonne soirée.
Toujours continuer. Mardi, mercredi et jeudi.
Oui.
All right.
OK, bonne soirée.
Good.
world.
Okay. Rejan, I was looking at, and I was speaking about in the 2011 elections with the St. Lucia Party, and that is the closest, before Guy lost the elections, the closest Mangal came to winning was by 115 votes, yeah? And the total rejected ballots was 303.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hello, good evening. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, mon kakouye pour faire contribution.
Oui, allez.
Where are you calling from?
Kiko don't have to sorti.
At the moment, I'm calling from Grosville.
Grosville, okay.
Nice.
Yes, I am just calling to say that from 1979, when Labour won the election, every time Labour have won again, it's an odd number. 79 they won, 97 they won, 01 they won, 11 they won, 21 they won. And 25 will not be a difference. Thank you very much.
It's an odd number.
Okay.
Odd number.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You know, it's amazing how people have looked at this thing in depth and have looked at patterns and what is happening, and it makes interesting conversation when those things are coming out. And the person is actually correct, and whatever they want is always.
Yes, it is true, and it is something that I've heard before actually too, Alex, that the Labour Party wins in odd numbers, and went as far as saying the reason that they lost the 2016 election it's because it was an even number. Kenny called the election in 2016, although they said that he was trying to pull an odd one out with the whole 6th of June, June being the 6th month and it being 2016. But I guess the numbers didn't add up then, and they considered that election. But it is fact. We were actually going through it as the caller was saying that in the St. Lucia Labour Party won in 79, which was an odd year, and they won. We have another caller. Let's take that call.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night.
Hello,
yes,
bonsoir.
Good evening.
Good night to you and your guests.
Good night.
I called to make a contribution.
Yes,
go ahead, please.
What constituency are you calling from? Just before you go ahead.
You see, around this time, especially with we, the night workers, it is 17 months. And I am telling you again, when I started working on the elderly care program from 2010, and when Alan Chancellor then took office in 2016, they sent me home. I spent 5 years underneath the global administration, and I did not get a day work from them. I had 4 grandkids to take care of, plus I had a son with brain tumor. My bills to it, my son to take care of, and these people had job upon job. They never give me a day work. And I am telling them, no peace, no rest for Alan Chancellor and Guy Joseph. I'm sorry for them.
Okay.
Hello? Okay, thank you for your contribution, caller.
Not caller.
Somebody said, and when I spoke of the rejected ballots, and most times we do not know where the rejected ballots go to. We had a particular interest, the person Facebook, because I know that because I remember it because we had a particular interest as to when we looked at the number, the margin of victory, we went to look at the rejected ballots, and you could see that were there actually said, okay, look, Mangal had about, in the spoiled ballots, which was 300 and something, that the rejected ballots, Mangal had about 100. I remember that I read this. Mangal had about 174, thereabout.
So you worked that election?
I didn't work the election, but I was an operative of a particular party, which I care not to say. Now, somebody on Facebook,
in your past life.
But somebody on Facebook said something which is quite interesting. And the person said that we need to go digital, especially to accommodate us people who are in the diaspora. We want to be able to vote without having to travel to St. Lucia on election day. So I'm pretty sure that this is something that we could always put forward to the people at the electoral department, and this is something that persons could certainly look into. I believe right now it's time to make a lot of changes where elections are concerned, and we cannot be operating the same way that we've been operating. So we live in a AI world, technological world, and advancement and whatnot, and we definitely have to start changing. Regine, I'm just looking at right now, it is 5 to 10.
Oh wow! Wow, that time. Where did that time go? I just wanted to make a quick pin in the digital voting or the electronic voting. Do you foresee something like that happening in St. Lucia in any time soon, Henix, honestly?
I dare say this is something I think that we did need to look into, thereby giving persons an opportunity. Good evening, you are our last caller for the evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Who am I speaking to now?
No, we're hearing you. Go ahead.
We're hearing you. You're on election watch.
I'm calling from Castries North.
Castries North. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm a family of 10. Castries North. But because of Mr. Chasney saying that the hospital is not open, which we know the hospital is not open, they handle the building. They hand over the building. We know that the hospital in St. Jude is not open yet. So why you keep saying that the hospital is not open? We know that. Why are you trying to fool us saying that the hospital is not open? Owen King stayed there for years, he never opened it. Why you keep saying the hospital is not open for? He's playing with our mind. So because of that, all my family have left the United Workers' Party and has joined the wave, the wave. So the person that's saying Mr. King not gonna win, the person have to go and check it out again. You know, that's the spit they're gonna call out, Mr. King.
Okay. And interestingly, caller, you are our first patriot to call. I just want to hear from you. So what's your prediction for this election?
The prediction for the election is the Labour Party going to form the next government.
But with how many seats?
I would say about maybe 16 seats.
16 seats?
Yeah.
Okay.
16-1. Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Regine, it's time for us to wrap up. As you know, we have to finish by 10 o'clock.
Yes, we have so much, but we still have so much to talk about. But again, you will see us tomorrow on Election Countdown. All the topics, we still have digital voting. We have the rest of the constituencies to discuss. So hopefully on tomorrow we'll be discussing another set of constituencies. We're going to be discussing digital voting. And of course, we'll be giving you the updates as it happens. Many things are happening right now as we speak. I think there are a few whistle stops going on as well. And of course, more things to come during this election season. We're looking forward to all the exciting updates, all the exciting that's going on around St. Lucia election for 2025. Henix, last words, final words for you?
Yes, I will definitely try to reach the electoral office or one of the commissioners and ask them about whether we are moving or whether there's any thinking of moving in that direction so persons don't necessarily have to travel. Because someone was saying, some of the airlines, I think they were waiting to hear what date elections are coming, and as soon as they heard the date of election, they spiked up the price. So this is something, I guess, really have to look at, and for persons to give them an opportunity to vote, to cast their franchise, because it's very, very, very important. The time has reached on us, and let me just thank everyone for those persons who are out there who do call, those who are watching, those who are listening. Thank you. We thank you for allowing us to come into your homes for this program. We thank you again. Thank you very, very much. And of course, you could join us tomorrow, but we'll start a little later. Yes, we'll be starting at 8:30. So we will not be having 2 hours, but we'll be having hour and a half. And one of the things, we want to look at tomorrow is the nomination process. and what it entails and what it involves. So I think one of the highlights we want to look at is that one. And then we will continue moving along the East Coast, and maybe we look at the two Mikus and the two Denrys together.
I think both parties are calling those ballon both, so it will be very interesting discussion, a very hot discussion topic for tomorrow. So you want to tune in, and of course you're going to tune in either on Flow 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot TV HD app, the Caribbean Hot TV Facebook page, and the Hot 7 TV plug and play digital antenna. You could check us out on any of those platforms. Don't forget, this is Election Countdown with myself, Rejan Montut, and Mr. H, also known as Henix Joseph.
Merci à pile. Bonsoir. Nous kaiwa encore demain au soir. Ni à bonne soirée.
Hot 7 TV is the rising star of television in St. Lucia with our stunning 100% HD quality, fresh exciting programming, including a balanced professional newscast. We are now the fastest growing TV station in all time slots on cable. Additionally, over 10,000